What's up, guys? Today we're doing something a little bit different, but I hope you enjoy it. Today I'm going to be talking about tournament preparation and how to prepare for a tournament, both in the like packing sense and like what to bring with you, and also in the sense of lifestyle and things to do to get like the most out of your tournament experience. I want to say that this is just what I do personally, so take it with a grain of salt. You know, everybody's different, and these are just things that I found that work for me, but there's also a ton of unexplored options and stuff that other people do. So yeah, this is just kind of like my routine and kind of what I do personally, but yeah, I hope that it helps you and gives you some perspective and maybe some ideas on what to do before the tournament. So I actually am more prepared with this video than I normally am for most of my videos, so I don't have like a script, but I made myself a little list, a document that I will probably share. I don't see why not. Yeah, I think my subscribers on Twitch already have this, but I'll probably make it public somewhere as well. So basically there's 3 sections here. First is packing, because I think that's worth mentioning. Then is like preparation for the tournament, like the actual like week before, and then the tournament itself. I feel like I'm forgetting something important on the tournament part, but yeah, hopefully I remember. But yeah, anyway, let's just jump into it. So the longest section is packing. So first of all, your base, right? Like, what are you going to bring? Normally tournaments, you're only going for a weekend, unless you are, for Worlds, sometimes international players or even, you know, domestic players will, they'll go for longer. So this is not applicable if you're going for like a, you know, 2 or 3 week trip. But if you're just going for a weekend or a week, this is kind of where I'm thinking and what I normally do. So first of all, you should get a suitcase or a bag. I normally bring either a small carry-on suitcase, or I'm not sure if you can see this. I've got like my backpack here. It's just my school backpack. I'm currently in the process of preparing. So I've packed at the moment for Duncan's wedding. I'm leaving in like 3 hours to go to the wedding. So this is what I have packed. I would have liked to pack for US Nationals, but I don't have time in between when I get back to make this video and then when I leave for Nationals. So I'm just doing it now with Duncan's wedding. So yeah, I'm going for a whole week, and as you can see, I don't know if you could see from this video, but the backpack's not super big. It's just my regular school backpack, not super huge or anything, nothing outlandish, but it does the job, you know. Yeah, so that's like your base, right? The reason I'm not bringing a suitcase, even though I'm going for a week, is because I don't want to pay for carry-on luggage, and I'm flying like budget airlines. But if you are going on an airline that's not going to charge you baggage, or you're going to check bags anyway, I do recommend like a suitcase is nice. Backpacks, just, you know, they hurt your back when they're really full and stuff. And duffel bags are also nice. I used a duffel bag for both of the last Worlds and maybe some other tournaments as well. I actually really like duffel bags, but a suitcase, like a small roller suitcase, is also nice. And if you're driving, you can obviously do whatever you want. Like a suitcase is fine. I definitely recommend a suitcase over a backpack for most situations. It's just that I don't want to pay for baggage. I also recommend but not essential, smaller bag. This is my team beer bag, as you can see. It's actually pretty big for a second bag. It's like pretty sizable. You don't need something this big for sure. This is just what I have handy, and I like to represent team beer. But yeah, I definitely recommend a smaller bag, because at the tournament itself, like, you're normally going to want to bring some stuff with you, and it's nice to not have to bring your whole backpack, you know, or at least in my case, because I'm only bringing a backpack. So something kind of small that you can bring to the tournament itself, or when you go out for the day. Like, if you want to, for example, if you want to carry around like a portable charger with you, it's nice not to have to bring like your whole backpack or to stuff it in a pocket. It's nice to kind of have a lighter bag, so I definitely recommend that. Obviously, the next most important thing if you're traveling, actually the most important thing if you're traveling internationally, is your passport. That's kind of important. Don't forget that. I also recommend you have some ID with you. Obviously, kind of just common sense things, but I think they're worth mentioning. In terms of clothes, so what I normally do is you bring enough clothes for the days that you're there, and maybe bring an extra pair as well, especially for socks and boxers, because yeah, like, especially socks, because like if your socks get wet if it rains, like, you might want to change midday, and then yeah, like, you don't want to have smelly feet or anything. I've recently invested in these kind of like, these are like travel bags. I just googled, like, I think I like went on Amazon and I looked up like packing cubes, but these are really nice because they're more space efficient. Like, I have 7 socks and 7 boxers in here, and I'm going for like 6 days more or less. I think actually 5 days. I think I overpacked here, but yeah, I'm going for. Can you? Oh, I have to hold it up higher. Yeah, this is packing cube. It was down here, but yeah, yeah. This thing is pretty nice because it just makes it more space efficient. Yeah, I've got another one for my shirts, but yeah, my socks and boxers are in here, and it just it makes it a lot easier to like transport stuff and be more space efficient, because if you can cram a lot into that little bag, you know. I think what's worth noting is for the clothes that you bring, you don't need pants for every day. I reuse pants because pants don't get dirty as fast, but shirts I definitely wear every day, change. But yeah, for clothes, like, I definitely recommend that you bring clothes that like you like and you feel comfortable in. That's something that I always like I don't really care like how I look that much day to day, but at tournaments I always try to wear things that I like and that I think I look good in, because especially if you're on stream, you know, you're representing yourself and you're you know, people are gonna watch you and stuff, and even just like going around, like it's nice. It's funny, like you wouldn't expect that like a tournament is like the place where you'd want to like dress up, and I'm not saying like to wear uncomfortable clothes or like a suit or anything, but you know, I think it makes sense to bring clothes that you like and that you feel like you look good in, because yeah, like you know, you'll meet new people, you'll almost certainly you'll make friends at tournaments, like, and also like for stream, like I mentioned, it's nice to feel like you look good, and to feel like you're representing yourself well. Optional things, I recommend a bathing suit for most tournaments. I always end up in the hot tub at tournaments, but especially for Worlds, I definitely recommend at Worlds bringing a bathing suit, depending on where you go. But it's normally Worlds is a big one. But even regionals, like most hotels have pools. You never know what your friends are going to want to do. So bathing suits don't take up much space, and yeah, it's good to have. You can bring a rain jacket. For most tournaments, I wouldn't, just because you're not going to be outside that much, unless you plan on really exploring the area. But you're not going to be outside. You can bring pajamas. I don't wear pajamas. I sleep in my boxers, but if you wear pajamas, or like depending on where you're staying, or if you're not comfortable like sleeping in your boxers, but you can bring pajamas. You could bring extra shoes. I normally only bring one pair, but it's, you know, depending on where you're going. Like if you're going to the beach and you don't want just your regular pair of shoes, or maybe if you want to exercise, you can bring sneakers. And actually on that note, you can bring exercise clothes as well. That's the clothes section. Okay, so for toiletries, most important, not optional, deodorant. Bring deodorant. Because yeah, it's easy to bring, it's cheap, and it's pretty important. If you have deodorant, it makes the whole experience a lot better for everybody. And you know, you don't want people being like, oh, like don't talk, you know, like that guy smells really bad. You know, you don't want to. That's a lose-lose. You know, that doesn't benefit everybody. Nobody wins if you smell bad. You know, so deodorant's really important. You obviously can't bring spray deodorant on a plane, but you can bring. I don't know if you're actually allowed to bring like the stick deodorant, but I have brought it for like 7 or 8 years now. Geez, 8 years. Yeah, I've been playing VGC a long time. I always bring stick deodorant, and I'm always like, are they going to take it? And they never do. So I'm pretty sure you're allowed to bring stick deodorant. Also very important is toothbrush and toothpaste. Not really optional in my opinion. You know, you want to be clean. Like I said earlier, like you're going to be making an impression on people. You're going to be interacting, at the very least, even if you've been playing for 8 years like me, you're gonna be interacting with people you don't know, you know, because you're not gonna play every single round somebody you've met before. So it's good to make a good impression. It's good to feel clean. I don't know. I like you don't want to feel gross. You know, you don't want to be taking mental energy away from worrying about like from playing when you're like worrying like, oh, do I smell bad, or like do I have bad breath? You know. There's a legendary story actually where Ray was. I'm not gonna mention the player's name, but Ray was preparing for a big match in one of the world championships he was at. And he was, you know, he's worried about his opponent's team, so he asked somebody. He was like, hey, we'll call him, who are we going to call him? You know, Team Beer, so we'll call him Mango. So he went up to Mango, and he was like, Mango, like, dude, my opponent, like, did you know his team? You played him. And he was like, and Mango was like, yeah, he had really bad breath. He told him he had bad breath, and he also told him, like, he was like, yeah, this Pokemon has a gem, and the Pokemon that he said had a gem was Choice Band, and so like it exploded turn 1, and Ray didn't think to cover for it because he was told it wasn't banned. Whereas like if it was banned, he could have protected both. So yeah, that was anyway. Anyway, the point is, even all these years later, I still remember that the guy had bad breath. So bring toothbrush and toothpaste; it helps. Depending on where you're staying, shampoo and soap can be brought. I mean, obviously, I'd recommend it because like most hotels, if you're staying in almost all hotels, will have like really cheap, really crappy stuff, but yeah, I don't always bring shampoo and soap, but every time I don't, I regret it. You know, like my hair is all like, I don't know, like it's just you know, it's not nice. You know, the soap is fine, but the shampoo is really leaves a lot to be desired. So there's, you know, you can get travel containers for shampoo. I should really invest in those. I don't have that at the moment, but that's definitely something worth bringing. Optional section, I bring a hairbrush because my hair is really it's really hard to like get out of my face, I guess. I don't know, like, I mean, it's long now, but even when it was short, like, even when it was short, I would still always bring a hairbrush because, yeah, because otherwise, like when I got out of the shower, it was messy, you know, it was hard to handle. So even, especially now, I definitely need a hairbrush, but I'd recommend you bring one. I mean, I bring one. You know, if you bring one, you should bring one. Don't forget any contacts and solution and spare glasses. I wear glasses and contacts, obviously. I always bring my contacts and my glasses, and if I'm wearing my contacts, I also normally bring a backup pair just because you don't want to get caught blind. I definitely prefer the way I look in glasses or in contacts to glasses, so I always bring extra contacts. But yeah. So just you know, things like that. I don't have any medications, but if you do use medications, obviously that's pretty important. There's probably some other toiletry stuff that I'm forgetting about, but those are definitely the biggest ones. You can bring Q-tips, though I've heard those are actually bad for you. And yeah, I think that's it. Obviously, grab your 3DS. Check that the game is in there, okay? Check your game is in here, right? Because even when I was in, like, this always happens. Someone always forgets the 3DS. Somebody always forgets the cartridge. It happened in Melbourne for regionals. I think Martin got in the plane or something and realized that he didn't have his cartridge. So, you know, most times, I'm sure in almost every situation, someone will help you out. You know, there's normally people who have multiple games, and you know, you might like it would be a hassle, but you might be able to make it fly. But it's not worth the hassle. You know, it's not worth the worry of forgetting your game. So make sure you have that. Yeah. Oh my god, this video's already long. I gotta go faster. Okay, 3DS. Bring your charger. Check 3DS charger. Important. And your game, of course. Optional. There's not that much left, actually. Okay. Any other electronics you're bringing? So, for example, most people will always bring a phone. This phone is garb, by the way. I need a new phone. It's like 8 years old. Not actually, but it's really old. Bring phone charger. You know, make sure you have that. Again, not that hard to get, but definitely important. Headphones. I think earbuds or headphones are really important. These are great. These were like $20. I love them. They're really high quality. David, Awesome Platypus recommended them to me. They were 20-something bucks on Amazon. Really, really recommend. It makes, like, even if you don't use headphones in tournament, I recommend you do. They at least for me, they really help me focus on the game at hand. I tried over-the-ear headphones because I thought they would improve my performance, but it actually was kind of distracting. I found like the lack of noise distracting in a sense, so I'm sticking with earbuds from here on out. Yeah, really recommend those. Not essential, but I recommend it. Portable charger. I have a really powerful portable charger. I have it in here. I actually have 3 portable chargers, so I didn't actually grab the right one. So I have this big boy. So this one will charge my computer, and I think it will charge my 3DS. I have a much smaller one that charges my 3DS. It's upstairs somewhere, or it's in my bag somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere. I have it somewhere. Like if I was going to a tournament, I would have it right now. Make sure those are charged, by the way. Charge those the night before. I really recommend those because, like, you don't want to run out of battery. Imagine, like, there's nothing worse than losing a game you're going to win on battery. Even if your battery never runs out, I would recommend investing in one just because, like, you can give it to your opponents or you can give it to your friends. Like, there's been a couple times where, like, oftentimes at tournaments when you go there, if your opponent's DS starts running out of battery, they'll move you to a different area with charging stations, and those are just, like, I remember at Worlds 2016, they're often in a different place, and often, like, there's normally something weird about them. Like, not, like, weird, like, oh, there's something weird going on, but, like, I remember at Worlds 2016, the lights were, like, really fluorescent, or, like, the colors, and it was giving me a headache, and I like, actually had a harder time playing at the charging station. Not always the case, but, I'm also someone who wouldn't want to win if their opponent's DS ran out of battery, unless I was, like, you know, really in a bad mood, or really didn't like the person. But for the most part, like, yeah, there's almost no situation in which I wouldn't loan my opponent a charger if they needed it, you know. So it's nice to be able to have that option as well to help other people and your friends as well. You know, if your friend's running out of battery, you can be like, yo, take this. So I recommend investing in a portable charger. It's not too expensive. My notebook's in my car, so I couldn't find it to show you guys, but I have like a spiral notebook. It's about, there's not one over here, is there? No, there's not. It's I don't really have anything for a reference. It's bigger than this. It's bigger than this. This is a notebook my mom has. It's bigger than this. It's like, yeah, a little bit bigger than this. I recommend it. Some people have like the little tiny ones, you know, like the little really small ones, but I like the full size one. I'm gonna make a note taking video on how to take notes in VGC, so keep an eye out for that. You can see the length of that and then that side. You don't need to take notes, not essential, but I find it really helpful. Pokemon in many ways is an information game, and so learning things, like, it's hard to retain everything in your head. You know, I've been doing this for 8 years, and writing things down still helps me remember them. So I definitely recommend a notebook, and I would bring at least 2 writing utensils. Again, if you don't bring a notebook or your writing utensils, that's pretty easy to get at tournaments. But yeah, other things, I also recommend you get any good luck charms. Obviously, a lot of people use plushies. I don't have any personally. I have a little Executor figurine that I sometimes have in my pocket, or Registeel as well. I have those two. But I don't normally like do anything with those. But yeah, like, you know, you got your good luck charms. Everyone, most people have one or have something that they use. So I recommend bringing those. Don't forget those; they're important. Any gifts that you have, especially if you're coming internationally, I know a lot of people will bring gifts for each other, like for friends they made online, and for people that for friends that you don't see very much. So don't forget those, and also. Don't forget, like, I always recommend leaving extra space, because you never know if you're going to win, and, you know, you're going to win prizes, or you never know if you're going to buy some stuff, or if you're going to get gifts or stuff, so always good to leave a little extra room in your suitcase. I don't have any extra room at the moment, but I'm going to a wedding, so I don't anticipate getting many gifts, so it's fine. Also, I don't use it personally. I have, so a lot of people use a screen protector card. I wish I grabbed one. Basically, if you bring a trading card, you can protect against screen protecting by sticking it right in this little, it's really hard to show this. How do I... Okay, right in this little area here, it separates the top screen from the bottom screen and allows you to see both, puts it in like a 45-degree angle. Strongly recommend that, because screen peeking is something that has happened. You know, players who have done well have screen peeked before, and so, allegedly, you know. I mean, it's not... Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But anyway, it's something that's happened. It's happened to me. I don't bring a screen protecting card because I have this... It's hard to see, but I have like a... You can kind of see it right there. I brought a screen protector... like for phone screens. I bought one for Android that, like, you know, the thing that you can only see when you're looking straight at it. I have one of those, and I just cut it out into the proper shape and stuck it on my bottom screen, so it makes it hard to see. I might want to invest in one anyway, but yeah, or like, sorry, I might want to invest in like a screen protecting card anyway, but yeah, I recommend you bring it. It doesn't hurt, you know, unless you find it distracting, but it's you know, it's any Pokemon trading card will work, and a lot of people use their favorites, so it's like good morale booster. Other things. Bring stuff to entertain yourself on the plane ride. You know, I have a book right now. A lot of people have. I don't really know what other people do. I think they like download movies and bring their computer and stuff. So whatever you do, you might not be flying, you might be driving, in which case, yeah, you don't really need that, but definitely an option. I definitely recommend a reusable water bottle. I have this one. It's a lifesaver. Water's super important. You can also see My Child Plays Top 500 Showdown Ladder. It's the only sticker I have on here. But yeah, this is an Nalgene bottle. Highly recommend. It's great. Got it as a gift. And yeah, it's great. Really helps to not die of dehydration, which is nice. You're going to be really thirsty at tournaments. Water isn't always applicable or accessible. You're not always going to want to pay for water. So yeah, really strongly recommend that. Water bottles are really nice. You don't have to buy a reusable one, but you know, it's nice to have because you can bring it empty and fill it up somewhere, and then there's that. I recommend board games and stuff to do with friends. We're going to get to that later, but lots of games here. Like, I have a bunch of them here. This is Coup, Saboteur, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. These are some of my favorite games. Bang, the dice game. I really like that one, and Resistance. Over here, as you can see, these are all really small, so that they don't take up a lot of space, and they're like a fun thing to do with groups. Obviously, different games are better for different sizes of groups. And I wouldn't bring all of these, obviously, but I brought Resistance when we were up to Charlotte, and we got a group of like 10 people. And that was really fun, you know. And I got to interact with people who I don't normally interact with as well. So I personally recommend board games. Yeah. Also, if you're gonna bring any other video games or controllers, like normally, like some people will be like, okay, I'll bring the GameCube, and someone who, like, for nationals, like normally Bears fan, will bring the like CRT TV and the GameCube, and you know, if he doesn't have room, some of the other ones, like some of his other friends will bring like the controllers and stuff. So communicate with friends. Strongly recommend Melee and Pokemon Stadium 2. I know there are people who are partial like Mario Party and other games as well, Kirby Air Ride maybe, but yeah. For nationals this year, I'm bringing an air mattress. Please don't let me forget. I really need to bring that. But yeah. Okay, now we're in the shorter section. Sorry, this is taking a while, but yeah. Since I'll publish the Word document, you guys can just kind of skip over the talking if you don't like it. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful. Preparation. Okay. So the week before, I mean, in general, but especially the week before, you should practice good habits. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating well, and exercise. I will be the first to say that I don't always do this. Those are things that will help you feel better, but there's some of the results are harder to see. But it also is something that doesn't hurt. I remember for Nationals 2016, I was like really taking my well-being seriously. I really watched what I ate. I was sleeping enough, and I ran every single day. But then I went like 5'4". So I think it's important to note that like you can only like preparation. This is meant to supplement the Pokemon preparation. You know, like if you like, it can help, but it's not. If your team isn't good or if you're not playing well that day, it's not going to be enough. But it increases your odds of doing well, I think, and it's not going to hurt. You know. Okay, food. I'm not a dietitian. I don't know that much about the science of food. I really don't know anything about the science of food. This is just what I do personally. So please, if you know more about food, like please, if any of this is wrong, mention it in the comments below, or if you have other recommendations, feel free to comment on this video. But this is just what I do and I find helpful personally. Okay, when you go to a tournament, I strongly recommend going to the store, to the grocery store. It's going to help a lot because there's like, well, we'll get into it. But yeah, basically, you might not get a lunch break during the tournament. So, like, yeah, a lot of tournaments don't have lunch breaks. So you can, like, you know, there's like normally something like really expensive and kind of like normally it's like greasy food like that's super pricey near the like somewhere near the tournament that you might be able to get, but sometimes you like won't even have time for that. For example, at Worlds 2016 Day 2, I remember it was like I remember going into like this like super I was really focused. I like entered Zen mode or something. Like I was really focused, and I remember entering the state where I was just so focused that I didn't realize that like we hadn't eaten. And so, you know, I'd been up since like 8-9 a.m. I probably hadn't eaten since then, and I want to say it was like between 4 and 6 p.m. And it was right after I finished top 8. It was definitely in the evening. And it was right after I finished top 8, and I kind of came out of my state because I realized I was playing Marcus in top 4 and that we'd like made it, and Marcus had made it too. And I remember being in some of the worst, like probably the worst stomach pain I've ever felt in my life because I hadn't eaten and my stomach was just like so famished. Like I was like, oh my, it was actually really, the pain was really like not like serious, like I had to go to the hospital, right? But it was really surprisingly intense. So definitely recommend you bring snacks. I remember, shout out to Christine. I was like, Christine was one of the judges, and she was like, congratulations, like, you're in top 4. And I was like, Christine, like, I need food. Like, is there anything I can eat? And she, like, went and got us snacks. And, David, actually, as well, who I mentioned earlier, went and got us pizza. $10 for a slice of pizza, to give you some perspective. So that's part of why I recommend that you, get snacks. I remember seeing, like, a $6 Cliff Bar in, Dallas. So, yeah, basically, I recommend you get snacks from a store, or, like, food from a store, because it's going to be really pricey at the tournament. And again, you can put that in your bag. Yeah, and even sometimes, even if you do get a lunch break, oftentimes like there's not going to be that many options. You like, I remember a couple tournaments where people like everyone would go to the Burger King or the McDonald's. Yeah, so like if you want to do well, like that kind of food is probably not great for you. I definitely recommend avoiding greasy foods, but again, I'm not a dietitian. I don't really know for sure, but I personally find that I feel worse when I have greasy foods and better when I have like more healthy foods. In Charlotte, I had this really nice, it was like this wrap, and it had like avocado and spinach and like goat cheese, which I don't even normally like, but it was really good, and some other stuff as well. And I was like, I mean, correlation doesn't equal causation, right? Like I didn't win the tournament because I had the wrap probably, but I definitely felt good after it, you know? So yeah, basically, even if there is a lunch break, oftentimes you're going to have, the options aren't going to be great, so that's why I recommend going to the store, getting snacks. Stocking up on water, it's important to stay hydrated. You might not, like, traveling takes a lot. I always find I'm dehydrated after travel, and also playing a tournament and, you know, sweating and getting nervous and, like, focusing, it's easy to get dehydrated, so, I definitely recommend getting some water, stocking up on water. You can get other drinks as well, but I think water is the best. I generally get a couple bottles of aloe vera because it's my favorite drink, but, yeah, water is the main thing you should be drinking, in my opinion. I recommend eating breakfast and eating light. You know, it got better over the years, but at first especially, I was so nervous before tournaments. Like, I would force myself to eat, but, yeah, I was really nervous, so eating was definitely a challenge. Now I recommend I personally like having something light for breakfast. I definitely think you should eat breakfast. Like, even if you're not a big breakfast person, like a banana or a bowl of oatmeal, something that's really easy, and you can get, like, those things at the store. You can even bring a packet of oatmeal with you, a couple packets of oatmeal with you if you wanted. Yeah, so yeah, those are all really good things for breakfast. Other options as well, like eggs if you have access to a kitchen, or a lot of hotels will have continental breakfast depending on where you're staying. But yeah, so I recommend eating breakfast, whatever that is for you. Those are my personal things. Snacks that are good, nuts. Like Jive Time has gave me a bunch of almonds in Charlotte, and those were really nice to snack on. I actually like I don't normally eat a lot of nuts. I didn't even eat them for like most of my life, but recently I started eating. I'm gonna stop that sentence. But yeah, recently, you know, I started. I don't know how to say that. Now I'm aware of it. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, Jordan gave me some almonds, and they were really good, and they were a nice snack because, yeah, they were like, they took the edge off, and they were salty, and they were like, I don't know if they're healthy or not, but you know, they were nice. I recommend them. Fruit is good, but it's like fruit is good, and probably good for you. But the problem is, like, you know, I bring a bag, and so stuff gets banged around. You know, I've brought bananas before, and they always get banged around. But if you're, you know, if there's like a place that sells like a pear or an apple or whatever kind of fruit you like, I would grab it. If you go somewhere for lunch, yeah, fruit's good. I always bring a lot of granola bars. Granola bars are really, it's kind of my go-to. not great long term, but they can be good in the short term. Kind of like, you know, like you didn't get a lunch break and it's really hungry, you're really hungry, and a granola bar can take the edge off. I'm definitely open to more suggestions. That's kind of just what I do personally. And of course, water and stuff. I don't drink energy drinks myself. I don't drink anything caffeinated for the most part. So I can't comment. I've never even had an energy drink, so I can't comment on if they're effective or not. I don't even know if people use them in this community. I'm sure some people do, but yeah, I really can't comment on them. Yeah, so okay, that's it. There's only one section left. Sorry, this is long. This is way longer than I expected. I thought the whole thing was going to be 10 minutes, and I'm talking fast too. So yeah. Anyway, last bit, and I feel like there might be something I'm missing here, but I don't know why I did that. Yeah, anyway, for the tournament itself, you should assess your goals, I think, and kind of figure out what you want to get out of the weekend and how you're going to leave feeling, what needs to happen for you to leave feeling good and feeling like you had a good time, and what would have to happen for you to feel like you had a bad time. For a while, I was really results based. You know, I was really focused on, you know, if I do well, then I had a good time and the weekend was worth it, and if I don't do well, then I don't, you know, then I shouldn't have gone. I didn't have a good time, you know, and so that's really not a mindset I recommend. It's really unhealthy in my opinion in a lot of ways. Like for example, I remember I top 8'd US Nats in 2015. After building my team at like 3 or 4 in the morning on the airplane, like while half asleep. And I managed to get top 8, and I lost to Blake Hopper, who was like a very good player, even after I cheesed him out in the last round of Swiss. So anyway, it was a good finish. You know, I got day 2 Worlds. I was number 1 in CP. And I remember being upset because I didn't win. You know, I was frustrated with myself that I didn't win. I was feeling bad about it. So that's kind of like an example of like, I don't recommend that. I really don't recommend that mindset. I have found as I got older and as I, you know, matured, that really, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the best way to do tournaments is to focus on the people. Focus on like spending time with your friends and, you know, meeting new friends and meeting new people. But really, I think if you prioritize people, you're always gonna have a good time. In Charlotte recently, the most recent American regional I attended, we had a really good time. It was me and Aaron Trailer and Brendan Zhang, and we met up with more friends later. But like we went to a bunch of cool restaurants and we played. We played board games, and we went to this like cool dessert place, and we got to explore Charlotte a little bit. Yeah, and then like we played like games on our own, and like Justin Karras met up with us, and then like later we met up with Tommy Coolin and like a bunch of like other people, and we played like a big 10-person game of Resistance. And so basically like I had a really good time, and I really enjoyed my time at the tournament, and that was a large part because like we made it about more than just the tournament itself, you know. And obviously, like in hindsight, it sounds pretty obvious, you know. Like of course, like you can't just Pokemon's a game that's really with a lot of volatility, so you can't just prioritize the tournament itself. But yeah, I think like in advance, like making plans can be really good, and like researching the area. So like finding cool restaurants can be really good, and other things. So yeah, tournaments are obviously a really good opportunity to see friends and meet people and have a really good time like socially. So it's definitely important to enjoy the people you're with. Other things that we've done before, like we've gone laser tagging before, Virginia in the past, the Virginia regional before it was Roanoke when it was in the barn. There's like a laser tag place nearby that we did. Always really like that. I'm not very good at laser tag, surprisingly. And then we did an escape room last year in Indianapolis for nationals, and that was so much fun. Like we had a big group of people, tons of people. It was like, I want to say at least 7 or 8, maybe up to 10 of us, and that was really fun. It was like me and Marcus and yeah, my brother and Jive Time and Dylan, and I don't know if Bears fan came. I don't think he did for some reason. But anyway, yeah, stuff like that, like escape rooms. I really recommend escape rooms. They're super fun. Laser tag is fun. You know, there was go-karting before. Basically, research the area, see what's around. Sightseeing is obviously always an option as well, depending on where you are, especially for Worlds. There's normally things to see. I know Worlds is in Nashville this year, so I know there's like a lot of country music history there, and music in general history, and you know, music venues and stuff. So there's that. At Worlds this year, Bill and I are going to a Taylor Swift concert. I think Lou's coming too, and maybe Dewey. I need to check, but yeah, basically like stuff like that. You know, make it about more than just the tournament itself, and you're gonna have a good time. You know, and of course it is. You know, it is important to prioritize the tournament. You know, it's important to prioritize getting rest and like getting sleep if you're focused on a result. But it's also good to have a good time and to enjoy your friends. I know a lot of people like to go to bars if they're over 21. I know that was especially with kind of the older generation, like the group that's like, you know, from like playing when I started playing, you know, those guys and who joined a few years later. I know like that's more of a bar culture, but with me and my friends, you know, we do a bunch of stuff, but you know, video games are always good. I have so much fun playing like Pokemon Stadium 2 and Melee every year at Nationals. That's like the big video game tournament. But yeah, board games, all fun. Basically, just make it, you know, just enjoy time with the people, and you don't have to do anything else. Like if you're just having a good time with friends, like there's nothing wrong with that. You know, but these are just things that things that you can do if you want to do. And of course, like, there's always more things you can do. These are just kind of what I've been doing, what I have thought works well. So video is just about half an hour. Sorry, this is way longer than like 3 times as long as I thought it was going to be. But I guess there's more to say than I realized. So hope I didn't forget anything. If I think of anything else, maybe I'll add it to the document at the very least, so that if you check that out, you can read it. But at the moment, I think that's everything. Thanks very much for watching. If you have other suggestions or things that you do that you really like, or stuff like that, definitely comment them down below, because I'm also looking for more ways to improve the tournament experience and to improve preparation. Really interested in like diet and stuff like that, but yeah, obviously I don't know that much about it. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more of these kind of not Pokemon content, but about Pokemon. I'm going to be doing a note-taking video on how I take notes, so you can check that out in the near future. Hopefully I'll get that done probably a little bit after Nationals. I'm not sure I'll have time before, but yeah, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Peace.